Hello everyone and welcome back to a Legionary's life, where we are starting up the second part of the Punic Wars. We arrived at the camp of one of the enemy armies, which is situated near a town on a hill, so we are in a bit of trouble. And yeah, we're basically just waiting for the assault. The wait is nerve-wracking. And at last comes the dreaded order. The assault begins. Apparently, your skirmishers, the velites, will have to engage the enemy light infantry holding the lower plateau. Picked units of heavy infantry are ordered to support them. That's certainly an unenviable task. With relief, you learn that your maniple will be kept in reserve. The frontal assault is underway when Proconsul Scipio himself takes the lead of half the remaining force. As the Carthaginians are busy repelling your soldiers, he leads you around their position. You're climbing the slope at a fast pace when a small group of Numidian cavalrymen approaches and starts harassing you with their javelins. The terrain is far from propitious for a cavalry attack, but they keep pressing you. Again, I don't think I'm good enough at throwing the javelin, so let's keep marching. Undisturbed, one of them throws a javelin straight at you, but our defensive check fails. We're hit, and our health is decreased by 7. At last, they recalled their attack and ride away. We did pass the endurance check. As you reach the plateau, you shake off the weariness and prepare to fight. It looks like Hasdrubal has sent reinforcements to his first line, but they're only partially deployed and clearly not expecting you. You charge the nearest group into the flank. When the other side is at the right distance, you prepare to hurl your first javelin. Let's just try to pick off a specific target this time. Let's see how it goes. And we pass. Nice. Your target skillfully deflects the missile, but at least you've caused some minor disruption to the enemy formation. Morale is increased by 1. As the other side gets closer and closer, you steel yourself for the incoming fight. And this is a Gallic mercenary, also without much armor. He's wearing a long sword and a scudam. His weapon reach is 3, which has the effect that his weapon is too long for a confined space. Attack penalty. But it does work better against my thing, I guess. This Gallic mercenary is a lot tougher than the other guys that we faced before. I think hurling the javelin is not too useful for now, so let's just get in and see what a feint will do. Less than 50% chance of actually hitting. That's not too great. I'd rather have a neutral stance then. How about these attacks? Very low chance. So we definitely need to lower his stance first. The best chance to do that is to make him miss some attacks by himself. I'm just gonna go for a quick feint. He missed attack on the torso. That's good, because if I have a aggressive stance now and go for a normal feint, it might succeed. No. Alright. Let's immediately go back again and just do the quick feint. He seems to be very inclined to go for actual attacks. If he recovers, I'm in trouble, because there's little I can do then. Okay, he succeeds. I'm going all the way back just to recover. Okay, that's really good, but I still need to recover myself. He will also succeed, of course, because I didn't attack him. Let's go for a regular feint. I think I might still get that lower. No. Okay. Let's try it again. You also have to be lucky in this. Like, if I got some good feints in there, then I might have been able to even attack him. But that doesn't work out if I keep failing here. Okay, good. I have a pretty high chance to hit him now. Let's try to hit him on the head at least. Deal a bit of damage. Unfortunately, he recovered rather quickly there. But I think... How about a shield charge? Very low chance. No. Let's go for normal feints. Let's go for deft feint to get rid of the rest. Please no recover. I need him Okay, well. That's unfortunate. Wasn't able to really deal a whole lot of damage against him. At least we didn't take any damage. I guess that's something. Let's try to hit him in the torso. Just to deal a bit more damage here. Yeah, there's no way I can deal any more damage to him. Well, we're gonna switch. Eventually, the enemy formation starts breaking apart. Very soon, panic spreads as the wavering turns into a rout. We weren't able to deal too much damage to him, unfortunately. Attacked from all sides, the Carthaginian line is collapsing. Many are taken prisoner, but in the meantime, the bulk of Hasdrubal's force manages to escape. At last, you're ordered to plunder the enemy camp. You set to the task with renewed enthusiasm. Your morale's increased by 5. Great. Enemy camp is a bit of a disappointment. It looks like the Carthaginians were able to take most of their valuables with them when they retreated. Let's split up and search some of the tents. You enter an apparently empty tent with Nasidius, a short, stout soldier with a permanent smirk, and start searching. After a while, your companion finds a finely crafted bracelet. Clearly, he intends to hand it over to the Legion. And that's exactly what he's supposed to do. Hasdrubal is heading north, intent on crossing the Pyrenees with the remnants of his army. The proconsul refused to pursue him and many of the troops are frustrated with the decision. Failed the intelligence check, including yourself. Your morale is decreased by 2. The Carthaginians you captured are sold into slavery and the revenue is shared among the troops. Scipio orders the Celtiberian prisoners to be released. This will help secure more alliances with the local tribes. Fighting in a real battle sharpened your skills. And that was it for this battle. Once again, we're in this screen here, part 3. So we once again get the ability to increase opinion of troops, etc. I really do need that extra opinion in order to do the better training. Because if we do sparring good now, we are well liked enough to have a small chance of success only. So that didn't go very well. Unfortunately, that means that we have to indeed increase the opinion. The threat of your life is spun. Gaius Antius fell in a skirmish right after killing an enemy leader. A well-crafted sturdy helmet found among the spoils remained unclaimed. It is decided that the precious headgear will go to the winner of a foot race. Anyone in the maniple can join. Let's join. You step up to the starting line along with many other participants. You have to run a total of 3 laps around the track. Let's keep a steady pace first, and we already failed. A mediocre lap. You're in the middle group. 1 lap done, 2 more to go. Let's keep another steady pace. We fail another quick check and an endurance check. Mediocre lap. You're in the middle group. 2 laps done, 1 more to go. Let's sprint. You decide to spend your best energies in this lap, and we failed the endurance and quickness check. A mediocre lap. You close your undistinguished race in the middle group. Nothing to be proud of, but it could have been worse. Okay, I guess that's not bad. Maybe. Let's play some more dice. And let's swim for a bit. Maybe at the gym. Okay. Not bad. Let's hang about. And let's spar. Let's try the good one. Moderate chance of success now. We do have some cash. Let's see whether we can buy anything better. Not particularly. We don't have the cash for a Celtic helmet, so let's just not worry about it. Let's do some extra guard duty. And again, how is our shield 38, sword 43? So I guess even with sparring, we could just do the good one. But again, no luck. Gaius Aegilius was a carpenter before the war. Like everyone else here, he's been away from home for a very long time. He's always complaining that the business he worked for his whole life went to pot because of this. Today he's speaking ill of the centurion. We can either just let him be or report him. Let's report him. Let's see what happens. The Centurion will deal with Aegilius in due time. Your opinion has decreased, but the Centurion has increased. Your virtue has decreased by 2. So let's hang about, play a board game. Let's do more training. Again, we are really unlucky with this because even with moderate chance, I think you should have pretty decent odds here. So, that's a shame. Let's do another good one. Come on, finally. At least that's one of them. Let's move on. When your third spring in this land so far away from home comes, Rome is in control of most of eastern Hispania. Your progress has been admirable, but the war is still far from over. The departure of Hasdrubal Barca and the remnants of his army brought some relief. But the Carthaginians have not been sitting around this time. According to the latest reports from the west, a new general named Hanno is raising an army, recruiting Celtiberian volunteers after bringing reinforcements from his homeland. Your legion is attached to a 10,000-strong army under the orders of M. Silanus, one of Scipio's legates, and sent west to cope with this new threat. Time is of the essence, and your forced march is almost beyond tolerable limits. With the invaluable help of some Celtiberian deserters, you eventually come close to the enemy's position. When news of what's ahead of you starts spreading, you learn that there are 2 enemy camps, one composed of Celtiberian volunteers and the other of Carthaginians. The first one seems to be much less defended and an ideal point of attack, but Silanus wants to play it safe and is preparing more scouting teams. Let's volunteer to scout. Avelis named Calvisius and Iobeles, a Celtiberian guide, will be your scouting team. Great opinion increases. Iobeles knows the ground full well and lets you approach the enemy position with minimal risk. When you're very close, you have to cross a stretch of land with poor cover in order to get a better look. Let's take the risk. Heart pounding, you try to move as quickly and silently as possible, but we fail. You're halfway through the route when you hear cries of alarm coming from your right. Before you're captured or even seen clearly, you have no other choice but to run away. Maybe the other teams did a better job. Okay. You're about 1 mile from the camp, so gently breeze is stirring the vegetation all around you. Awareness check. You hear a faint sound of fighting coming from somewhere to the south. Some of the other scouts could be in grave danger. Quick look at the faces of your companions tells you that they have heard nothing. Tell them to follow you and run in the direction of the sound. There's no time to lose. Ignore it or explain what you've heard. Discuss what you should do. Let's tell them to follow you and run in the direction of the sound. You sprint towards the sound as fast as you can. We pass the quickness check. Your 2 companions fail to keep up with you. A little later, you reach the edge of a clearing. Inside, you see 3 men armed with curved swords around a fellow legionary who is desperately fighting for his life. 3 bodies are on the ground. Wait for your companions before you make a move. It seems to take ages for them to reach you. When they do, it's too late for the hapless legionary. All you can do now is attack the 3 Catrari before they report back to their camp. Should the Carthaginians learn of your presence before Silanus attacks, this could end in disaster. Attack. You race forward, poised to strike. Calvisius' javelin falls in the spaces between 2 of the Catrari. Well, let's throw the javelin. Hit him in the leg. Not bad. He's attacking my torso. Failed. They're all attacking my torso. Just trying to get at me. I think... Yeah, this one is mostly hurt. I'm gonna try to get at him first. I guess if I go for a knock... or feint, let's see. Feint is very high chance, and then we can hit him afterwards. Yeah, let's do that. Let's feint. They succeeded, and they attacked him in the leg, but missed. Okay, he's just trying to recover. I don't care too much for the other 2. I'm just focusing on one of these guys first, and then trying to deal with the other 2. That's a pretty high chance to get it even lower. Let's try to do that. Ah, come on. This is what I mean with... If you're unlucky... Yeah, great. In the critical moments... then... that will be problematic. Well, they got a second attack in. Unfortunately, and... Okay, so which one of these guys has the... Alright, let's target him. You can see here which of these three you target with this sword. And let's just go for a regular feint. I should have actually put this to attacking stance. I messed up. Let's go on the middle one. Let's do a deft feint. Nice attack. And he failed to recover. Alright, good, good. Let's try another deft feint. Oh, come on. We have a very high chance, actually, so the fact that it fails so often is quite unfortunate. Alright, let's actually attack him on the groin. Nice, good hit. And he's dead, perfect. Okay, that's the first one. That'll make things a lot easier, obviously. Oh, I keep selecting the wrong thing. This guy's more hurt than the other one, so I want to focus on him. Let's start with a quick feint, just to get that a bit down. Ooh. I think a normal one. Ooh, we could double attack it. Nice. And he failed to recover. That's good. Let's actually go for a deft feint now. Alright, so he's all out. Let's see. Let's attack him in the groin as well. Nice hit. Good job. We can take him. Almost down. If I can get a... It doesn't really matter where I need to get the attack in. Just the easiest attack on the torso. And he's down. Excellent. Alright, we have 3 against 1 now. So even doing stuff like a quick feint. And he's getting tired as well. Let's go for a normal one now. Yeah. This should be an easy victory now that it's 3 against 1. And... Alright, we have a pretty good attack on the neck, but we missed. We have to get our stance, or recover our stance at least. And I still think we can hit him in the groin. Wow. Alright, he'll probably recover. If we keep his stance low as well, he is very unlikely to attack in general. Great. We killed them. We got 2 caps, worth nothing, and 42 denarii. Nice. You catch your breath and wordlessly look at each other in the eyes. Ierobilis seems to be especially shaken. You turn around and survey the slaughter that stands before you. 7 bodies in total. 2 legionaries and their guide. The other 4 are the party that intercepted them. You hastily conceal the corpses, doing your best to memorize their location so that they can be buried after the forthcoming battle. Once you've finished, you leave. After a while, you reach the valley where the bulk of your army is hidden and report what you have learned. Everything is ready now. It's time to approach the enemy camp and get prepared for the onslaught. We get a cup. You're rewarded for each enemy you have voluntarily engaged and defeated. Okay, Let's continue. The irregular ground offers plenty of cover as your army approaches the Celtiberian camp. You are not very distant when it finally comes into sight. After a minute, the defenders start pouring out of the camp. You've catched them by surprise, morale increased by 3. You cross the difficult ground without incident. When you draw near, they try to hinder you by flinging their spears, but your shields form an impenetrable wall. They know they're outnumbered, yet they stand there to meet your advance. When the other side is at the right distance, you prepare to hurl your first javelin. Awareness. For a brief moment, you have a good line of sight. Pick off the enemy officer. Throwing. Succeeded. Your target skillfully deflects the missile, but at least you've caused a minor disruption from the enemy formation. Your morale is increased by 1. As the other side gets closer and closer, you steal the cell for incoming fight. Well, that was too bad. I thought we were going to get something very nice, but I guess we would have had to get a bullseye there. Alright, this guy is very weak. He's an inexperienced Scutarius. I think we have a pretty decent shot at him. We hit him in the head, but his armor absorbed some damage. We're already a bit hurt though, but I think let's go for a normal feint. Let's go for a normal feint. Come on. Okay, now at that point, let's go for a death feint. Good, and we have another attack. Let's hit him in the groin. Let's try to hit him in the groin again. And again. Oh, come on. Even though it was a 75% chance. Let's get back up all the way. Yeah, and now it's only a 50% chance to hit him. This doesn't take you anywhere. If you succeed and he recovers. Let's go for the groin. I want to kill him. But it's not going very well. Come on. Okay. Let's try the torso then. But the torso is not, yeah. Let's try to hit him in the head for now. No. No, I'm... Of course. Sure. I don't know. It's 50%, and then I feel personally that we miss a lot more than we're supposed to. Either way, there's a brief lull in the fighting, and we are going to rotate. At least we wounded him. We have quite low health. From your current position, it's difficult to figure out what's going on ahead. One after another, the rows before you fall back at the Centurion signal. Slowly you find yourself once again at the front. This is actually a regular Scutarius. And since we're already quite badly hurt, we're probably best off playing it a bit defensively. And really to try and... Alright, how about those soft spots? At the head is a pretty decent attack. Let's go. Alright, let's go for a deaf one. Nope. And he got a second turn, great. Okay. Let's go aggressively. Let's do another death feint. And another one. Let's try an attack on the head again. Only 3. Alright, let's just go for the groin then. And again. Wow. Again. Let's keep hitting. That's crazy luck that I'm having here. And he's dead. Wow. Let's go back, get some respite. Fail. Alright, we're never gonna get that guy. So let's just indeed try to get him into recovery mode and play it safe here. Just keep fainting, keep failing at each other. Although, yeah, let's get aggressive, do a normal one here, because he's gonna try to recover. All right, let's go back. Rounds are almost over. We made it through without taking an actual hit. That's very nice. And that's it. Eventually the enemy formation starts breaking apart. Very soon panic spreads as their wavering turns into a rout. Can't believe we killed that Scutarius. What remains of the enemy scatters before your advance. Nice. Okay. Yeah, our deeds are much higher now. Did pretty well. Your army occupies the first camp and captures Hanno himself. Meanwhile, the Carthaginians have left the other base, withdrawing to the safety of their cities in the west. It may look like a small victory, but your early intervention prevented far greater danger from arising. Morale increased by 5. It's superb. Fighting in a real battle has sharpened your skills. Your deeds have taken your skills one step further. And we got a Bronze Armilla. In recognition of your efforts and achievements, you've been promoted to Tesserarius. Nice. That gives me more cash. Rank Tesserarius. You're a guard commander in one of the 2 sentries of your maniple. And indeed, we get some more cash. That's great. Our skills have improved by quite a bit. So definitely don't mind that. That's a bit of cash, but I'd rather wait until I actually get my money. So let's do a bit of training. Let's focus on shield for now. And our shield skill has increased. We received our regular pay. And our wounds hurt, yeah. But let's take a look now. First of all, we see some griefs. And that will penalize our quickness. But this does give ourselves leg cover. And I kind of want that. Nothing to sell, of course. Because we didn't have anything on the legs. Let's just relax for a bit and then do a bit more training. We have shield 43 now as well, so let's just put this on average here. Sparring good. Have a good chance of success. Let's try it twice. The wheat rotation you are given today is blatantly lighter than it should be. Let's complain, and our charisma check passes. The attendant apologizes and makes up for the missing portion. Morale's increased by 3. Great. Let's do a bit of guard duty. Extra patrol. Something is causing a stir through the camp. Actually, you're sure you've heard of a cheer of jubilation. Then you find out. Big news from Rome. Asdrubal Barca's army, which crossed the Pyrenees last year after escaping you, was finally intercepted in Italia by 2 consular armies before he could join with his brother Hannibal further to the south. His army was annihilated near the Metaurus River, and Hasdrubal himself died fighting alongside his men. Hannibal is isolated now, and Rome has never been so safe since he crossed the Alps. When you embarked 3 years ago, all this seemed next to impossible. The revelry goes on for a long time. Morale increases by 5. Very nice. Let's do a bit of workouts. Yes. This part of the game. We're put in charge of a small forage party and sent out to collect supplies. Basically, what we need to do is cross this map and go to different places to collect supplies by just moving up, left, right, and down with this here character. These are cities up there. I'll just walk there. Basically, on any terrain, the movement cost reduces the amount of time left. So we have plain, forest, and mountain. Mountain reduces it by 4, and forest by 2. At least that's the movement cost. In the forest, we have an ambush risk of 4. So there's an event that might happen every time you go through one of these tiles. There's a 4% chance. Yeah, you can see here, movement cost 2, ambush risk 4. These are cities, and in the cities, there are a lot of resources. It takes time to collect it, which is indicated here. I don't know how much 9.8 equivalents to the amount of time left on the bar, but we just have to do it, I guess. And then, if you're in the town itself, there might also be some events. And on the map, there are also often events like this in which you have a chance to get resources by passing a certain check. In this case, we can fish, and because we passed the awareness and quickness check, we prove to be a skilled fisherman. Between you and your men, you leave the brook with plenty of food. Alright, let's go and collect this. No events just yet, that's not bad. Apparently, or from what I've read, supposedly you get easier maps if your opinion with the Centurion is better. So I would say that the map generates less forest and mountain tiles and potentially more cities. I'm not 100% sure about that. It could be. We didn't even get an event at any of the cities. Let's just bypass these forests because we have plenty of time to go back, and I'd rather not get into an ambush, which is usually only negative. Or at least I haven't seen anything positive come from an ambush. You completed your mission to everyone's satisfaction. Everybody likes me. Your mental attributes have not improved. Usually, or they can improve while doing this. Better luck next time. Well, we're not getting any better either, so just doing these for a bit, going back to training, and I don't think that best will work out just yet for me. I think you need to be quite high there. There's some guard duty and a patrol duty. Let's try another good training session. More and more soldiers in your cap are stricken with a fever. We fail these checks, you're no exception. But we spent several days fighting the debilitating fever. It takes you some more time to recover, but at last you're fit to resume your activities. Time wasted 1. Okay, so it could have been a lot worse. Probably. Let's try a workout. No? Okay, so we have to do some leisure time. And let's try again. Great. There we are. So, move on. Asdrubal Gisco and Mago Barca, Hannibal's youngest brother, are leading the remaining armies of Carthage in this theater. They have joined forces and on dealing with you for once and for all. Scipio himself leads whatever forces he has at his disposal to face them. The legions and the Italic ally, of course, are but also a large number of native allies. You don't like the rumors you've been hearing. It seems the enemy outnumbers you by a fair margin. When you come inside of the Punic camp near the town of Elypia, you can see for yourself the reports were not overblown. Your army is busy building its camp across the broad plain that separates you from the Carthaginians. A large cavalry host comes forward from the other side, trying to take you by surprise. To their dismay, they find out that Scipio hid his own cavalry behind a hill. The sudden counterattack stalls the assailants for a while, but the fight is in the balance. Soon, your maniples send out to back your horsemen up. Your cavalry has been slowly taking ground thanks to your support. As yet another charge brings chaos to both sides, a Numidian rides in front of your ranks with a clear intent to provoke an attack. These horsemen are considered among the best in the world. They were key to many of Hannibal's victories in the early years of the war, and all your compatriots who have met them on the battlefield have learned to respect them. We can come forward and meet him in single combat, or don't leave the safety of the formation. You stay behind the shield wall. He throws a javelin at your line, but is forced to retreat when a squadron of Italic cavalry approaches. The skirmish goes on for a long time, but in the end the Carthaginians have to give up and ride back to their camp. Nothing else relevant happens for the rest of the day. The day has come, the voices of officers giving orders and the sound of marching feet till the air as your column leaves the camp. All your efforts over the last 4 years are at stake today. Your maniple takes its position on the battlefield. If you fail here, this vast plain is the last place you'll ever see. The Legion of Rome and the Italic ally are in the center. Your local allies' light troops on the wings. When the dust settles, you see the distant enemies. Hasdrubal Gisco adopted a similar approach, with his heavy infantry in front of you. His elephants stand like towers in front of his Hispanian allies on the wings. You wait in silence. You have to trust your fellow soldiers. If at any point they panic and break formation, then all is lost. No matter what you do, you try not to dwell on it. The wait seems to go on forever. Minutes pass, then hours. Neither general gives the signal to advance. As the sunset approaches, you see a motion ripple through the enemy front. They are not advancing though, they are going back to their camp. Soon after, the same order is given to you. You march back with a mix of relief and frustration. The following day, the scene repeats itself, and the day after that, and so on, for several days. The Carthaginians are always deployed first, their heavy infantry in the center, and you follow soon after, mirroring their arrangement. Failed the intelligence check. This endless back and forth is eating your nerves. Then, one morning, you're all awakened sooner than usual. The order is to have breakfast and prepare to march out. Something is off with the position of your legion in the outgoing column. You'll end up on a wing rather than in the center. Your cavalry and skirmishers are harassing the Punic camp, forcing Hasdrubal Gisco to respond and deploy in a hurry. Both armies are fully positioned. The dust has not settled yet, but you're quite sure you're facing the enemy light infantry now, rather than their elite heavy troops. This time there will be no turning back. Scipio himself takes command of your wing. You wheel to the right, then turn left. Your 3 lines have become columns. Your maniple loses cohesion for a moment and comes close to disarray. Not very reassuring. Your senior officer quickly regains control though. As a column, you can advance much faster than usual. You see that the other wing on the left, also made of heavy footmen, is doing the same. The line, formed by your Hispanian allies in the center, is moving forward at a slower pace. You are now close enough to the Carthaginian left wing. You wheel to the right once more, then turn to face them in your usual formation. You've been too fast for them to react properly. Their elephants are being driven away by your skirmishers. At last, you are ordered to advance. When the other side is at the right distance, you prepare to hurl your first javelin. You take aim at one of the enemy's soldiers and hurl your javelin. We fail the throw check. Not a bad throw, but it misses its intended target. As the other side gets closer and closer, you steel yourself for the incoming fight. Against Acetratus, let's hurl another javelin. Miss. And he misses his attack. So that means I can probably lower his stance by quite a bit. And he has no armor, so I'm gonna hit him in the groin. Only 4. And he gets double recovery. Let's try a death feint. Alright, I'm just trying to get that stance lower, because that also keeps me safe. And then hit him in the groin whenever I have the option, because he has no armor there. Which seems to work well. Ah. It has a very high chance of succeeding, so that's actually working out quite well, and we actually killed the guy. Let's go back and do some respite. With a very low amounts. Okay, so we won't be able to kill him anyway, so let's just get to the back and do some respite here. Alright. Still just gonna do respite all the time. Ooh, lucky. Because I'm not gonna damage him in that short period of time anyway, and killing one of the Sestratus is already fine. After a brief lull in the fighting, we're gonna switch. From your current position, it's difficult to figure out what's going on ahead, and we're once again at the front against another Sestratus. He misses going for the torso. Let's try the same strategy, which went fairly well previous time. It's not low enough, but let's go for another deft one. And neck attacks are also pretty decent. Let's actually try the neck. Now, I just have to be lucky in that he can't recover for a turn. And then also get a good neck hit in there. But I think the groin will finish him off regardless here. Okay, great. That went very well. We're actually doing quite excellent in these. Okay. I was really hoping to be able to deal that damage, or to at least get that feint going. That will be tougher now. Alright, let's go for a def one now that we're in a pretty reasonable spot. Okay, that gets rid of all of it. It's around 13, so we're better off. He's more powerful, it seems like. He has a lower chance of getting hit by a neck attack, but let's do it anyway. Miss. Alright, let's recover. He'll also be able to recover. That was risky. Yeah. Alright, well, we tried. We killed another one, so that's not bad. I guess... Ugh, okay, let's go back. Just respite. I'm just gonna keep switching again. I don't think we'll lose morale from this. Oh, we are already losing morale. Alright, let's just go back to regular stance then. Get him to recover. Despite your efforts, the enemy is tenaciously holding his ground. You've weakened them enough. Pinned down by your Hispanian allies in the center, the African infantry can't come to the aid of these Catrati. There's no reason to expose yourselves more than necessary, so you're ordered to step back and let the Principes take over. Very soon, the wings of the Punic front start to collapse, forcing the unprotected center to follow. As Drubalgisco manages to rally what he can of his fleeing army and forms a new defensive line on the hill close to his camp. He has lost too many troops, however, and their morale must be shaky at best. Your army is waiting at the bottom of the hill when the signal to attack comes through. You fairly outnumber the Punics now. This won't take long. The enemy is weak, and there's no reason to put your life at risk. Few would notice if you held back a little. Let's fight and don't spare ourselves. We're still in good health. Although fighting against a Libyan spearman is something quite different than before. He wields a spear and a hoplan. He's well armored all across the board, and that's gonna be tough. Even regular feints have nearly no chance, well, at least a low chance of succeeding, and I don't like getting into an aggressive attitude here. Let's try to do a quick feint. I think I'm just gonna go to survive here rather than to try and finish him off. How about this? Here, let's try that. Yeah, I can't even do a deft one. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for normal ones because the chance to actually hit him are relatively high, and if he is forced to recover, then he is not gonna attack me either. Okay. Didn't work, unfortunately. This is working out relatively well for me, despite how it looks like. Because he cannot attack me and I cannot damage him. I'm too weak for that, to be honest. And he's too armored anyway. So this can go fairly quickly, I think. No. Okay. Let's go aggressive. Try to really get that normal hit in there. Okay, good, good. Let's go for a deft one. Ah, failed. Oh well. Still a normal one could hit. No. Alright. He's too far into the recovery. Now, luckily, I don't actually need to kill him. Especially since I'm already quite tired. Might just as well rest for a bit now. Enemy formation starts breaking apart. Very soon, panic spreads as their wavering turns into a rout. The disheartened Carthaginians give way after a brief clash, but your chase is nipped in the bud when a sudden downpour overwhelms the battlefield. There's no choice but to go back to the camp. Some of the soldiers are wondering out loud why the gods are protecting the Punics. You make it back at last. You need all the rest you can get. Most of their local allies deserted the Carthaginians soon after the battle. Hasdrubal Gisco and the remainder of his army fled during the night. Scipio leads you in pursuit. They are close to the sea when you finally entrap them. What follows is nothing more than butchery. Your maniple isn't even involved as the outnumbered Punics are slaughtered. A few thousand evade the bloodbath. They entrench themselves on the top of the nearby hills. You lay siege to them and wait. They won't last long without water. When they surrender, there's no trace of Hasdrubal and Mago. They made their escape, but it matters little. It's over. Carthage's presence in Hispania is all but obliterated. Fighting in a real battle, sharpen your skills. A few months later, the last fortress of Gadi surrenders without a fight. When you arrived 4 years ago, 3 large armies were keeping Hispania under Carthage's thumb. Now this land is firmly in the hands of Rome. You embark once again, this time heading home. After such a long time in the army, you can't wait to see your family. And yet, your new life back home is not as you anticipated. Maybe it's your people who are different, or maybe it's just you. What you saw, what you got used to, you can't shake the feeling that something is amiss now. Scipio is back too. Many Roman citizens regard the young general as a hero after the astounding victory in Hispania, and he is elected consul. After a long debate, Scipio is allowed to carry out his plan to invade Africa, the vast land beyond the sea to the south, dominated by the city of Carthage itself. He is given command of the legions in Sicilia. They are composed of the survivors of Cannae, confined to the island until the end of the war as a punishment, doomed to a long-lasting exile by someone else's ruinous blunder. The new consul is forbidden to levy any more legionaries, but volunteers are permitted. We can enlist, or we've had enough. Let's enlist. You travel to Sicilia by sea with Scipio himself and thousands of other volunteers. From there, the consul intends to launch the invasion of Africa that will hopefully end this war once and for all. You join the 2 existing legions and begin the long months of training and preparations leading up to the new and final departure. However small, your reputation with the consul carries significant weight with your senior officers. Your opinion of Centurion has increased by 6. Okay. Right, I'm gonna end it there as part 5. I want to thank you all for watching. Do hope you enjoyed this part. If you did, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one when we're starting our campaign in Africa proper. Like I said, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.